Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got Live Before Lock. We got Ghost. Ghost, how are we doing, man? I think you're muted.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah. How we doing?
Sorry about that. Good
good?
to be here, man. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Glad everybody's here. We get a fun one today. Where is my Pope? We'll talk more about that maybe a later date. Noble has to say win ETH rewards. Yeah, congrats to the baseball squad that got the ETH rewards. Hopefully NBA soon. Who knows? But as always, we got a wild one today. There's a lot of injury news that just dropped. Shout out to Charlotte Hornets for just taking the night off. But more importantly, let's get the giveaway fired up. A guaranteed rare again. All you got to do is like the stream, subscribe, put into the chat, hashtag Zinger. As people get ready to fire that in there, Ghost, how are we feeling about today's slate?
Man, at this end of the season slates here are just a little bit crazy. Just nobody's playing. All of the value picks just everywhere. I was glad to hear you on the morning show this morning say that you did not sell your entire collection. So congratulations.
It was close. We came in 22nd, so sorry for you guys. I said I was going to give away all my rare cards if I didn't do it, if I didn't cash. But we cashed. We came in 22nd. I think I'm running out the exact same squad this week that I ran this past week out. So not a lot of strategy. Also, you want to know why? And then we'll get into some of the injury news, because I actually went to go buy a couple of things today, and I forgot I can't just buy them off my card on secondary. Like, I have to go get some ETH in there, or I need to sell some stuff. And I was like, you know what? Fine. We're just going to run it back. We're not going to buy anything. So if anything, it served as a blocker today.
Yeah, I hate having to add more ETH to the wallet there. And it's been a bad feeling lately, but I don't have a lot of stuff that I want to sell. And some of the stuff, like I have like a Damian Lillard that I just didn't get off in time. So now it's kind of just sitting there. I'm like, I'll ride that into the next year instead of selling it for basically nothing. So
yeah. All right. So just a reminder, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Zinger. If this is your first time joining us, what we're going to do today, we'll go over some of the injury news. Then we'll look at projections. We'll go over some of the plays that stand out to us a little bit. Ghost, I might need a little bit more help from you than normal, just because the old cough's kicking up. So if I mute a lot, that's why.
Sure.
And then we'll get to some questions and answers. I know some questions have already been coming in, but I promise you I will not get to them yet. Not till the end. Real quick, though, let's just go over some of the injury stuff. And we've got like a million Q tags. So Jokic is questionable. LeBron is questionable. AD is probable. SGA, who we thought was going to be ruled out, has now been upgraded to questionable. Tatum and Brown are both questionable. Kawhi Leonard is questionable. Anthony Edwards is probable. Karl-Anthony Towns is questionable. Jamal Murray, who is doubtful, is now questionable. Keldon Johnson is questionable. Tobias Harris is questionable. Kelly Oubre just got ruled out. Jared Allen is doubtful for the Cavs. Turner just got ruled out. Devin Vassell is questionable. Kelly O is questionable. Michael Porter Jr. is questionable. Gordon Hayward just got ruled out. DeAndre Hunter's out. KJ Martin's questionable. Robert Williams is doubtful. Al Horford is questionable. That is just what was on the list. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here from the underdog side of things. Derrick Rose just got ruled out. Lindy Waters III is playing. SGA available to play. SGA is playing. Daniel Gafford's game time decision. Kristaps Porzingis got downgraded to questionable, which is always a little alarming. Dennis Smith Jr. has been ruled out. Tobias Harris has been ruled out. Let me see. Anything else here? I think that's most of it, right? Is there any big things sticking out that I missed there, Ghost?
I don't think so. I think you covered it all.
So I guess like before we look at projections, what are you doing? Like, how are you just targeting stuff that you know to be true? Like, are you avoiding questionable tags? Like, how are you doing it?
Man, I feel like a lot of the guys that are going to be questionable are guys that are getting probably ruled out. Some of those teams are teams that are probably just resting their players either for the playoffs or they have no incentive to play anymore.
Right.
Like I'm curious to hear what you think of. Like I saw Boston had almost everyone questionable, so I would assume that they're resting at least one of the games. I
Yeah.
think they have two. So I'm targeting those questionable guys as if they were not going to play at least one of the games, and if they only have one game, I'd say that they're pretty much a lock to be out there.
So with the Celtics, I know they do have two games this weekend. Tonight's the second night of the back-to-back, and then I believe they play again on Sunday. They're playing the Jazz at home tonight, and I wonder if they are just thinking that they can beat the Jazz with like Marcus Smart and Derek White and company. So I am assuming, again, none of this I know, but I'm playing it as Tatum's out, Robert Williams is out, Jaylen Brown is out. Now they might stagger them, but my guess is they're like, I think we might be able to beat Utah. Also, it's such an outside chance. They need to finish one game ahead of the Bucks in the next 5. So if they basically have to go 5-1 and hope the Bucks go 4-2, and then they get the 1 seed. So it's already kind of hard to make this happen. I'm sorry. The Celtics only have one game this week. Is that right? Let me double check that. I'm sorry about that if they only have one. I thought they played on Sunday as well. Grant, well, yeah, just one game. All right. So it's just
Okay.
It's just tonight.
Well, that changes things a little bit there.
Yeah, I would stay away from I'm staying away from Tatum and Brown then. That's what I'm doing.
So what big men would you target then on Boston? Because it sounds like Al Horford's probably going to rest. We already know Time Lord's out. Are you looking at Muscala? Are you looking at Blake Griffin maybe?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, my Wi-Fi went a little crappy there. I'd be targeting Blake Griffin. I think Blake would be the first one. Grant Williams, maybe Muscala. I mean, I guess none of them are very exciting. But I think I would go Blake Griffin. I know he played a little bit last night, but he seems to be the one that gets in there when they're shorthanded.
Yeah, Blake's at a 12 cap right now, just for the record there.
What's Muscala at?
Pretty attractive. Muscala, he's an 8.
Yeah. I think either of those are fine dart throws. I will say if those guys both, if Jaylen and Tatum both sit too, I mean, Derek White, Brogdon, like all of those guys become smash plays. And I think we should have that news like relatively before. I would imagine we get it before lock with that game. I can't remember if it starts at 7 or 7:30, but it is a home game. But anyways, all right. Why don't we dive into some of these projections here and see what we're looking at. So we'll start with like that low L10 of 0 to 10. I imagine the Blazers are going to be those guys again. So again, we're using Momentum Labs, the projections you can find over on momentumlabs.app. There's a link right in the show notes. Actually, I don't know if I put it in the show notes today. I'll have to go grab it and post it there. But John did message me too and said he was going to be updating it as we go, as we get more news, because it is kind of a clusterfuck. So as Kyrie would say. So who are you targeting with the cap of 10 and below?
So there's a bunch of guys here, and a lot of them are projecting well on the sheets, as you see there. Like you mentioned, the Blazers. I think Jabari Walker's a little interesting there. He's been getting minutes at 7, and they just lost Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson. I think he fractured his finger earlier this week, so I don't know if he'll be playing. And Archie hasn't really been playing that much. So their rotation doesn't have a lot of guys in it, but they are a lot of value plays down there. So I think that Jabari is interesting there. And then a lot of the Hornets I'm also targeting. So you've got like Bryce McGowan's, James Bouknight's been playing a little bit farther up outside of the 10. I noticed that Theo Melodon's been playing in the Charlotte rotation, and he's kind of interesting there. I think he's at 13.
13.
So was looking at a bunch of the Hornets guys, and I think we get Mark Williams back this week, and they're playing the Bulls tonight. So I think Mark Williams is going to just eat whoever we put on him.
Mark Williams is projecting really well too. We'll get up to him. Just to cover some of the guys that we might have glossed over, especially like the guys with single digits projecting for double digits. Christian Brown, if Jamal Murray does get ruled out, he gets a nice little boost, I think. Johnny Davis has been getting more minutes. They're finally seeing what they have in their rookie. I know Juan Toscano Anderson projects really well. What are we buying that?
I haven't seen it. Like I've looked at some of his like last 5 games. I don't feel like he's doing a ton with his minutes and not getting an an excessive amount of minutes, but he is projecting really well in the sheets. I'm kind of fading that a little bit.
I think I'm using him in my rare underdog tournament, but that's about it. All right, as we get north of 10, I know you picked out a couple. Any other than that, like 10 to 20 range that stood out to you?
Yeah, right before 10, the two Knicks guys, or actually one former Knick there, Kevin Knox from Portland, I think is an interesting play. He's been playing a lot. He's one of my favorite plays this week. And then Obi Toppin is probably one of the biggest risers with Julius Randle out there, but he's been getting some more consistent minutes, and we've seen some big games out of him in his career. So I think his ceiling's pretty high at a cap of 9 there.
Nug Life said, hold on. You said the Nuggets only traveled with 7 players. So is that including Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr.? Because all of those guys are still listed as questionable. So I don't know if they didn't travel with the team. I would imagine they would have been ruled out. So I'm a little confused by that one. So if you have boots on the ground, let me know. All right, and let's see, like this not mid-range. Benedict Mathurin, I'm going to give a shout again to, mainly because he put up a monster number. All right, so he said no Jokic or Murray. They're both listed as questionable right now. So I would monitor that, especially because Jokic, who I thought was like doubtful, got upgraded to questionable. So, but anyways, yeah, Benedict Mathurin had an awesome game week.
And the fun thing about Benedict is I think his role is starting to go up with Haliburton out, and yet his cap I think just went down like significantly. So now he's at like 14.
It just went down like 5 or 6 points. So Mathurin is somebody, he's in my lineups. I really like him. I know you talked to Batum has been playing pretty well. We the people, I know you're saying doubtful, but they Underdog has them all listed as questionable. So
we got a few Batum questions last week, and I think I said earlier this week, and I think I said I wasn't interested in playing him. And then they played the Bulls this week, and he had like 8 threes against us. And I was like, man, this is a karma right there. So
I gave Batum a little shout when you were saying no. I said, come on, Batum. People saying I thought Murray got ruled out yesterday. Yeah, Murray is questionable. Maybe he does get ruled out, but we went down this road with Keldon Johnson before, and then Keldon got ruled out both times. So we've earned it. We've earned a little bit of this. Ooh, the Locked On Nuggets. I do not trust Locked On. I'm more of a DNVR guy. All right, let's keep going. Anybody in that 20 range that's got you excited?
I do want to call out before we get to the 20 range, Svi at 13 there. Svi is just killing it. I think he was the top value play on like the entire slate this past week. But
which guy? Sorry, say that again.
Svi Malachek. I don't know how to say his
Svi.
last name. Yeah, Svi is just balling, and he's kind of taken over the lead guard role there. I think Dennis Smith just got ruled out. They're still missing all their guards, so I like him a lot.
Yeah, him and Bryce McGowans and Theo Maledon, as you talked about earlier. We see some more Portland guys pop in. Drew Eubanks again. I got to tell you though, Drew Eubanks, he always hits his cap, but he never like crushes his projections. So just keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. Although I guess he did get 33 last week. All right. What's our favorite mid-range guy? I know Shaedon Sharpe, of course, is still projecting like a monster since they're not trying anymore. Xavier Tillman still pops. We got Denny, Marcus Smart. Anybody else that's sticking out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I love Shaedon Sharpe. I think DeLon Wright is interesting at 19 with all the Wizards being out. He's been playing well lately. Let's see.
What are you doing with Trendon Watford? He's at a cap of 25. I know he's projecting really well. I know he missed the last couple of games. Are you doing anything with him?
I like him a lot. I was reading a couple of different like DFS articles, and they kind of were assuming that he was coming back at some point this weekend. Okay. So I would assume you get maybe at least one game out of him, and he's great on that shorthanded team.
Yeah.
I would be moving forward with him as if you were getting at least one game out of him.
Okay, cool. Anybody else in this like really up till like 35? Anybody else that you were like, oh, I'm trying to fit this in a contender? I know Mark Williams, we talked about, right? He's got a cap of 26 and a projection of 37 almost. People were asking about Jaden Ivey. He's got a cap of 26, projection of 35. Anybody else in that mid range?
I still like Nembhard at 25. We mentioned Mark Williams at 26. Jaden Ivey's been playing great at 26. He's on a little bit of a hot streak there.
Yeah.
And then let's see up at a little bit higher here. How are you feeling about Russ right now?
Russ has been playing out of his mind, man. Russ has been playing really well. I mean, he's obviously benefiting without Paul George. And I think, I don't know what podcast I was listening to, but even when he's playing with the second unit, no Kawhi out there, you have him running around with all these shooters. You know, it goes a long way. Zealy was asking too about Mark Williams for the 2 games in the rotation. Yeah, but so Kai Jones has been ruled out or is doubtful, I believe. So there's that too. Hold on. Sorry, guys. If SGA is sitting the second game, Joe will be great. Yeah, I think Joe could probably play anyways. He's probably a solid play anyways because he's just shooting. We already went over the Batum projecting. He's projecting pretty well. Thoughts on Nurkic? I don't believe he's playing anymore, the Hoggy. I believe he's in shutdown with everybody else, right?
Yeah, THT at 28 is another one I've been looking at. He just had a huge week, and I think they already ruled out Laurie. I don't know who else is playing on that team, but it's pretty much THT's world right now in Utah.
Yeah, I agree. THT's been incredible, and we will absolutely do a video drop for that once I find it because we're talking about THT. All right, let's keep it moving. What's our favorite MVP? When we look up here at the top, who do we like the most?
Oh man, there's a couple of guys with two that we're not really sure if they're actually going to play both.
Right.
Are you feeling like Embiid is playing both this weekend, or are we
Oh,
going?
yeah, I think I'm playing Embiid. Embiid, he's definitely playing one of them. Where like for Jokic, I don't know if he's playing both of them. So I really like Embiid. I think he's probably playing.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning as well with Embiid there. He's hard to pass up when he's got 2 games, and we haven't heard anything about him resting, and he did just sit out that one other game. So
Yeah.
we could see a double out of him.
Yeah, I like that. The other one is Luka. I feel like Luka is guaranteed for both games, even though it's a back-to-back. One's in Miami, one's in Atlanta. They have to win all of their games. But when you look at everybody else up here, like no guarantee SGA plays both. AD should play both. Tatum's probably not playing tonight. Sabonis should, but there's like a lot of question marks with everybody else. But Luka, what do you feel about the Mavs?
Yeah, I like Luka. I mean, it's just hard to tell what they're going to do, but I do like the idea of a star with their back against the wall, and we've seen Luka rise to the occasion before, so that's always a better situation in terms of a fantasy output than someone who has nothing to play for. So I
Yeah.
like the idea of Luka really needing to win there.
I like that quite a bit. All right, let's reset here. We're going to like the stream, subscribe, put a hashtag Zinger. That's in honor of Porzingis, who's probably going to get ruled out. Whoa, did Tatum get ruled in just now here? Let's see. Did Tatum get ruled in, or are you just like saying shit into the chat?
The Celtics stuff just came in. So
all right,
Jaylen Brown is in, Jason Tatum's in.
Wow.
Horford's out, and Time Lord's out.
Wow. All right, there you have it. So your bigs with Time Lord and Al out. I bet Blake gets a little bit of a boost, but not as exciting, honestly, with Tatum and Brown both in, because that is where the usage is going to go for sure. I don't know. How does that move the needle for you at all?
It makes it a little bit tougher. I'm not as interested in those guys because I think that the usage, like you said, I mean, those two are just going to eat all of the stuff, and you've still got Marcus Smart in, I think. So the guys that are missing are more of the low usage guys. So I would treat this almost like it's a normal starting five. Blake Griffin is maybe a little bit interesting because he's getting more minutes, but I wouldn't expect him to have some sort of ceiling game.
Yeah, I don't really like any of it that much. But I do think now you can play. Well, Blake Griffin is starting for Al Horford. There you go. So everybody that was just saying Blake's played too much, don't play Blake. Blake's fucking starting. So there you go. There you go. But yeah, like the stream, subscribe, do all that stuff. I will say, I do think you can play. Like I know we were saying we were a little nervous about Tatum and Brown because they were questionable. But if they're playing, I think we're doing it. I think you can play them. I think this is Utah doesn't play defense. It's gonna be high scoring. Maybe you get a blowout, but I don't know. There's back to back. I don't know. I think are you okay playing either of those?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've got them, you could play them. But I do worry about the blowout, like you said, especially with Utah missing some of their key guys, and they weren't great to begin with. I don't know, but sometimes you think that those are going to be blowouts, and those are the teams that are pesky and hang around with a bunch of the role players.
They stay feisty. All right, real quick, we're just going to see what I've got for my squads before we get into Q&As, and then we'll fire away here. All right, here we go. My teams. I'm not too excited about much of my stuff. My contender, I'm rolling out Jabari Walker, Mark Williams, De'Aaron Fox, Shaedon Sharp, Gabe Vincent. That's kind of nice because I got De'Aaron Fox in there. My limited champ, I don't really like, but Sabonis, Fred VanVleet, Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Cam Johnson. And then my rare contender, though, so I think this is the same squad. Rudy, Shaedon, the Banks, Benedict Mathurin, Gabe Vincent. So and then the rare underdog, I just threw it together, some bunch of garbage stuff. So we'll see what happens. Any squad you're excited about for this week?
Not particularly. My two studs that I've been riding all season have been Halliburton. This is at the rares here, Halliburton and Julius Randle, and now I'm missing both of them. So I feel like my I don't really have a stud superstar at the rare tier anymore that I'm relying on. I think I've got Trey Young left now. I know their back's against the wall a little bit there, but not feeling great about it.
Yeah, it is. It's getting harder and harder. All right, here we go. Let's get started with our cues here. Also, by the way, as always, if you super chat, I auto ask it. Tatum or AD here? Tatum, AD's got 2 games, right? So, sorry, I'm looking at underdog projections here. Tatum projects, no, AD actually projects better and has 2 games. So is that where you're going there?
And AD only has 1 game, or does he have 2
No,
also?
I'm sorry. AD has 2, Tatum has 1.
I would go. I'm leaning Anthony Davis there, and
Yeah.
especially with the risk of a potential blowout for Tatum.
Yeah. We get DeLon Wright or Drew Eubanks here for a cap of 19. Do you have any lean?
I like both those guys a lot. I would probably lean. I don't know. I really think that they're close. I would maybe lean Drew Eubanks, but I think that DeLon Wright also has a really good situation right now with a lot of those guys being ruled out.
Yeah, definitely. What about Ish Smith? Have you heard any Ish Smith talk over here? I don't know. Is he in Denver? I don't even know what team he's on right now.
Yeah, he's on the Nuggets. I guess if we get more news about their lineup, he hasn't played in a while, so I don't know. I don't think he's really in play, regardless.
Yeah.
But
I mean, listen, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I think I'd try to get Christian Brown in there. Lamar Stevens here, the dead wing spot for the Cleveland Cavs. He's going to cap at 13. A solid projection of 23. Have you been messing around with him at all?
he played 40 minutes this past game here. He put up 18 points. I think he's one of our cardio kings who doesn't do a ton even when he plays. So I'm not super high on him, but he is going to look like he's getting some minutes if you are tight for people to play there.
We love a cardio king. Ibrahim says, pick one: Cam Reddish, RJ Hampton, Chetty, and my other players are Jabari Walker, Mathurin, DeJounte Murray, and Fox. Okay, so this, thank you. See, gave us context for his squad. Needs one more between Cam, Hampton. This is Cam, right? Is this Cam Reddish?
Do we know that Cam is playing? Because he was out in the previous game.
Ooh, was he?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have a status on him, but he missed the last game.
It looks like doubtful for one game, playing one game. Maybe cap of 16, projection of 18. Hampton, I don't think. Oh, actually, yeah, you probably just rolled for RJ Hampton then, right?
Yeah, I'm looking up Hampton's. Yeah, he got 24 minutes last game, 14 minutes, 21. So he's got a small roll carved up there. And I don't know what. Let's see what Chetty's been doing as well. We're gonna have to really dig into some of these guys, these like lower guys, because I don't really follow them too closely. All right, it looks like Osman hasn't been playing that much either, and not doing much of those minutes. So I think it's Hampton here, but I don't love any of those three.
Yeah. According to Team Hold, Tatum has 4 games this weekend. There you go, Boston base. Charles says Jokic or Giannis or both. We just don't know if Jokic is going to play this weekend, right? So, according to Nug Life, he's not even traveling with the team, but he's questionable right now. So I think I would just play Giannis, but I don't know. What would you do here, Charles? Ghost? If you could play both, would you?
I mean, if I could fit both of them in, I might. But I think I would lean Giannis here. That travel news does scare me with Jokic.
Yeah, me too. D4 Win says Bones Highland. So we talked about DeLon already. What's Bones doing here? Bones is a guy. They all actually project pretty close to each other. DeLon a little bit higher. Do you have a preference here?
I think I like DeLon right more. I think that he's got a more solidified role. I know that Bones has been playing really well lately.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long he stays in the rotation there.
Yeah, I think I would lean right, but both of those are fine. Furlo says Nembhard, who you talked about, or Dort. Mentioned Dort gets a usage drop a little bit with SGA being available, right?
Yeah, I think I would have liked him more if we knew SGA was out, but now that he's back in with Giddey and Jalen Williams, also I think there's a lot of people to get the ball there, and Nembhard with Halliburton out, I think is looking a lot better.
Yeah, I think I'd go Nembhard too, but we're gonna play the drop anyways. All right, here we go. Philippe says, would you play Hayes and Ivy together?
I like Ivy a lot. Let's see what Hayes has been up to. He's been like consistently in the 25 to 30 range. So I think you could. I don't love Hayes as much, but
yeah, I think I would just play, if this is like basically the combo here, I think I would just do Ivy and THT, honestly. All right, Red Wolf is saying Porzingis, who's questionable, Laurie, who we don't think is going to play, Fred VanVleet. So this is between Fred and Ja, and I think this is actually pretty clearly Ja, right?
Yeah, I definitely go Ja there.
Is Gary Trent Jr. back? Dude, I haven't heard anything about Gary Trent Jr. Let's take a look. It looks like he's questionable right now, but they got 2 games, so he's projected to play at least one of them there. Clay Thompson or Jabari Smith Jr. Jabari's been playing really well lately. Let's see. He's got a cap of 35 and projection of 32. And then we have Clay with a cap of 32 and a projection of 38. So much higher projection here. Do you lean Clay?
I lean Clay. I think it's close though. I mean, Jabari's been on a heater and playing well. I think that Clay probably has the larger upside. But Jabari, I think they're both in play.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too. I'm leaning Clay. Pirtle, Franz, or Jared Allen. Jared Allen, I believe, is doubtful. So this is probably going to be Pirtle, which is kind of crazy. So we got Franz right here, right? Cap at 33, projection at 31. Let's look up Jakob here.
Franz has been real hot.
He has been. Actually, it's pretty close.
I think I lean Franz here. Franz has got a bunch of 40-point games in his last 5. And I think Pirtle's kind of faded off after his hot start with Toronto. He's been stuck in like the 20-30 range.
There we go. All right, for tip-off, BAM Limited or PJ Common? It's a BAM Limited, right? You're going to always play the Limited, right?
Yeah, even if it's a huge disparity in talent, I think you got to play the limiteds for that bonus.
I mean, I know PJ's in a solid spot with everybody out, but I mean, BAM, it should be BAM. It should be BAM. Let's go. Jamichael Green, Dorian Finney-Smith, or Rocco. I think I'm crossing off Jamichael Green, and this is between DFS and Rocco. Do you have a pick?
Yeah, I don't think Jamichael's been playing very much or in the rotation unless they're going to be missing guys tonight. In terms of the other two, I think I would lean Dorian Finney-Smith. But let me look up Robert Covington.
Yeah, I think I'd go Dorian. I know Rocco's coming off a really hot game the other day, but I still think I'm going the other way there.
Yeah, so he's coming off a 47-point game. Wow. But that was his like one good game in the last forever. So it might just be a flash in the pan.
Him and I think between Rocco and Russ, they went 12 for 12 from 3, I believe. All right, here we go. Kudu in the house saying Desmond Bain and George Yang or Mikal Bridges and Jalen McDaniels. That's tough because I both like Bain and Bridges, but Yang and McDaniels both make me nervous. I think I would go Bridges and McDaniels because I like Bridges' upside with Ja back. I don't know. Do you have a strong preference there?
That's tough because I think I like Niang more than I like Jalen McDaniels, but I think I like Bridges more than Bain.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could combine those two there.
There you go. Yeah, figure that out. All right, let's check in a Dick Rich. We know we have no Kai Jones. He's got a cap of 24, projection of 22. I think we're taking Nembhard here between those two, right?
Yeah, I agree.
What's Goga projecting for these days? All right, Goga or is it Goga?
Goga had 35 server points in 13 minutes in his last game. That's impressive.
There you go. It's Goga. All right, Superluminal. There we go. Now, these are two guys that we like. The one thing is, right, I think I would like Watford a little bit more, but he is questionable for one of these games. So I think I would just take Nembhard, take the safety.
Yeah, they both have 2 games, and I think Nembhard is safer with the ball in his hands, especially with you're not even sure if Watford's going to play both.
Mm-hmm. Siakam or Ja? I think it's still Ja. Like I think I'm taking Ja over almost everybody that's not like a guaranteed MVP this week.
Yep, I agree.
Siakam or Ant-Man, I think is a little bit closer. Ant-Man, I believe, is questionable. Maybe it's probable, but I think I would still lean Ant-Man here. He's been playing really, really well. What about you?
It is close. I like Siakam a lot. I think I would lean Anthony Edwards, like you said, though. I think I like his situation a bit better.
Yeah. Maybe for the last time this season is Bobo gone. Bobo is gone. We will play the video though, for sure.
Bobo?
Bobo.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull?
No, yeah. Long legs.
Oh my god! I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bobo. Like
Jamie said, "Oh God, what?"
I was gonna say my mom bought a rare Bull Top Shot moment, like back in the bull market, like early days, and that's one of her few moments. And she always asked me how it's doing, and I'm like,
really good,
very well.
It's doing really, really good. Wait till the blog comes out and talks about it. Jamie said he got second place in his first and limited tip off in the space of 10 days. So you're 2 first places. Wow, impressive. Rudy Gobert, Nicholas Claxton, Triple J, and Pirtle. I'm taking Rudy and Claxton. What are you doing?
Oh, Rudy and Claxton. think I'm going to lean Rudy and Claxton as well. And Claxton's been a little bit hot lately, and I like it, what he's been up to.
Yeah. What's the deal with Reddish? We believe he is doubtful for this game, I think is what we said. Poole or Nembard? Wow, are those close in caps?
Let's see. Jordan Poole's at a 27 cap.
Yeah.
That sounds, yeah. Or what was Nembhard, 23?
25, I think.
25.
Nembard,
I think,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I'm going to lean Poole here.
Yeah, he's been shooting lights out. Flo is saying, do you think Aaron Gordon will be good with Jokic out? I think this is pretty tricky because we have seen him go off without him. However, I kind of feel like I like Gordon a little bit better with Jokic in. I don't know. Well, how are you approaching the Nuggets?
I agree with that take. I think that Aaron Gordon plays really well off Jokic and is like a really good complementary piece to him. And I think that whole team in general just kind of struggles when Jokic is out of there. And
especially if Jamal Murray doesn't play too. I mean, like maybe if it blows out, they're just going to save Gordon. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad play, but it's not my favorite. JD crossover. I know. I owe you a message, man. It's gotten crazy over here in these streets. I do. I owe you a message. What about Kyrie? I don't know. What are you doing? What are you doing with Kyrie this weekend?
Kyrie is interesting, and I like him, and I think it's for the same reason that we talked about with Luka. I like stars with their back against the wall here, and he's been playing pretty well. But at 46, that's a tough cap. But I think if he's like your superstar, you're probably playing him. But I don't know if I would be trying to jam him into my lineup.
Yeah, same thing. I agree with that. Like, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. I just want to remind the people, too, before we continue with these questions, like the stream, subscribe, #Zinger, giving away a rare one here at the end, but you got to like, subscribe, put #Zinger. This is a good one because Mobley has been on one. So is Vucci, Main. Where do you land here between these two?
Man, Vucevic is carrying the Bulls offense right now. That said, I think I would still go with Mobley because Mobley's just absolutely on fire right now. He's coming off a 63. He had a 66 right before that. I think I lean Mobley.
Yeah, I like both of these guys too. Like in the same line. Like I don't think you're going wrong here. Vooch is going to get you like 20 and 12. Mobley's going to get you 15 and 10, but like 5 blocks, right? Like they get there different ways. Let's see what else you got. How about Scotty Barnes? Yeah, we haven't talked about Barnes at all. Let's see. They have 2 games this weekend, I believe. He's got a cap of 29, projection of 29. So Barnes is fine, but nothing crazy. Charles is saying Towns and Kevin Knox or Donovan Mitchell and Ish Smith. I think this is the first one because they're both going to play, right?
Yeah, I think when I just looked up Ish Smith, he hasn't gotten any minutes lately. I don't know if he's going to suddenly be thrust into the lineup. So I think that Denver still has enough guards that I don't know if Ish is like suddenly going to be playing. I think Christian Braun might get that bump, but I'm not confident that Ish will.
If they rule out everybody, right? If Michael Porter, if Jokic and Jamal Murray all get ruled out, you can ride with Ish Smith if you want, because I think you'll see Christian Braun slide into Michael Porter Jr.'s role a little bit. But I still wouldn't feel great about it. I think I'm still taking the first one. But without that news, I think it's really hard to fire up Ish Smith. Kyle Anderson, Jalen Brunson, or Nick Claxton. Who would have guessed Kyle Anderson would be in this conversation here at this range? So he's got a cap of 37 with a projection of 31. He gets dinged a little bit with everybody back. Brunson has a projection of 41, Claxton 40. So the numbers say Brunson. I don't know. What do you say?
I kind of feel, I guess it's Brunson, even though I kind of feel similar to how we talked about Aaron Gordon. I think that Brunson probably doesn't benefit as much from having Julius Randle out as he does from Julius Randle taking the heat off him offensively. But I think that he probably still has the most usage by far of those 3.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would go Brunson. Let's see. AG is most likely. Yeah, no, I agree that he's most likely to play. I just like Gordon a little bit more with everybody in there. Let's see. Well, Precious, man, I haven't figured what to do with Precious Achiuwa. You have any take on that?
I was hoping you would, because I have him in a couple things, and I was looking up different guys to play today, and I saw that he finally got some good run last game, 24 minutes there. I was wondering if it didn't look like there was like anyone out of the lineup, out of the usual. So I don't know if he's just suddenly back in the rotation after being out for a while. I know he was injured. I'm hoping to play him because I like Precious a lot. I was just curious if there was any other information on why he was back in there.
I was as surprised as anyone else to see how many minutes he played the other day. I was watching some of that game. I couldn't believe it. Nembhard and Boucher, or Harrison Barnes and Monty Morris. I think I'm just taking that first one. I think it's going to be most of the time it's going to be Nembhard. I think Nembhard's both got a floor and a ceiling there.
Yep, I agree.
Let me see what else we got here. One from me. We get a cap of 7. JTA, Jabari, or Bryce McGowan. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, JD. I'm going to answer one of these things, and then I'll let Ghost take it away. Let's just get JTA off this question, right? So Jabari Walker or Bryce McGowan, who are you taking?
You got to be careful there because this is exactly how I felt last week, like about someone like Batum, and then it just is egg on your face there.
Yeah,
but
really.
I think I'm going to go with Jabari Walker of these 3.
Yeah, I think so too. I think flip a coin between. Like, I think Bryce is a great play too. So I'm fine with both of those. JTA is the only one that makes me nervous there. Maxey or Giddey? Maxey, I don't think is projecting super well. They got everybody back, but Giddey also has somewhat of a higher. Oh, there we go. They're right next to each other. So Giddey with a projection of almost 36. Maxey a projection of almost 35. I think I lean Giddey just because he can do it a bunch of different ways. Maxey has to get you 27, 28 real life points. What about you?
Yeah, that's very close. Maxey's been balling lately. I know that Embiid was out for one of those games, but I think I lean Maxey there with SGA playing.
Yeah, I just think we haven't had Harden in like a little while, but yeah, I think either of those are solid. Amun's asking about Knox or Toppin. These are 2 guys you talked about earlier. If you had to pick one of them, who are you taking?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I like both of them. I think I lean Obi Toppin for the opportunity, but I think that both of them are really good plays.
Yeah. I saw Roth just joined us. I think Lamar Stevens is the one that projected the best. I think we go Lamar Stevens, then Jeff Green, depending on how many people get ruled out. I like Niang too, but I think I like Lamar Stevens a little bit more.
How about the Uncle Jeff resurgence from Jeff Green there? I saw
Dude, it's a poster. It's like he gets 3 posters a year. It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Keldon Johnson, Ransom Reed just got ruled questionable, I believe, which makes me nervous because San Antonio loves to do that shit. I actually think I like Rudy the best. I can't, and maybe I'm biased because I'm playing him, but Rudy's just been a double-double machine lately. He's got a cap of 37 and a projection of 41. And what I like about him is like Jalen Green has to just score a shit ton of real-life points. He's got a cap of 35, projection of 40. I don't know. Who are you taking of these 3?
I agree, Rudy. Jalen Green's been pretty frustrating lately, and pour one out for Naz Reid with his broken wrist. That one really hurt, but that really should make Rudy even more valuable.
Matthias is saying, hey, we're just talking about JTA. I root for him. He's a fun story, but he just gets exercise, man. That's all he does is get exercise. All right, Darius Garland's projecting pretty well this week. Denny Avdija has been playing great, and now Porzingis is questionable. Or Mark Williams and OG Anunoby. I think I let it be known as the way I express this one. But I think it's Garland and Denny, right?
Yeah, I think so. I like that other side though. I definitely like Garland more than either of the other 2 on that side. So I think that's where I'd lean. And I like Denny a lot. I do love Mark Williams though. He's always got a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, I like Mark Williams too. I think Mark Williams is a great play, but if in this combo, I think I'm taking Denny and Garland. Yeah. Also, somebody asked about Gary Trent Jr. earlier. They just ruled him out. All right, DeAndre Ayton, Mike Conley, or Scotty. Ugh. It's either Scotty or Ayton for me, I think.
I lean Scotty there.
Yeah, Scotty can do it in a bunch of different ways. What's in Mikey's glass? Buffalo Trace, Rittenhouse, or iced tea? No, it's I looked it up last night. I forget that. I think it's called Legiancy. Is it Legiancy whiskey? No. Is it Legacy? No, Legion. What is it called? I don't know. I just got it yesterday. It's really nice. It's got a cherry finish. It's really good. Harden will definitely not play the back-to-back. That's okay. So if you think KB97 is guaranteeing us Harden's not playing the second game. So if you do think that, then absolutely go Maxey. All right, Rudy, De'Aaron Fox, or Anthony Edwards. We haven't really talked about Fox too much. Fox has a cap of 38 and a projection of 42. What about Ant-Man? We haven't looked at Ant-Man either. Ant-Man has cap 38, projection of 44. Oh, they're right next to each other. Jesus. And then you can see Rudy right there. I don't know. Who's your favorite of those 3?
Probably Ant-Man and then Fox. I do like Gobert, as we just said, but I think those are some good options there.
Yeah. What about Archie Dono? We talked about him. It's just hard to project his minutes, right? We thought he was good that one time, and then we haven't seen it from him again, right?
Yeah, he didn't play last game, and I didn't see him get ruled out or anything. So I don't know if he just fell out of the rotation, or they're kind of just running Shaedon Sharpe out there 40 minutes a game, and he's doing everything. So
yeah, there we go. I'll take Bucks in tonight, Portland. All right, Alexander, let's go. It says, which contender lineup do you prefer? PJ Washington, Shaden Sharp, Denny, Eubanks, and Sfee, or AD, Eubanks, Knox, Sharp, and Sfee? Wow.
Man, I like both of those.
I like both of them too. I think
So
I'm taking. Oh, go ahead.
I was just trying to figure out here. I guess you're
AD
swapping
and-
PJ and AD, and then you're swapping Shaden Sharp, or no, Sharp's in both. So Kevin Knox and Denny.
Yeah.
Denny?
Yeah. So AD and Knox or PJ
Oh,
and Denny.
I think I like the Denny lineup,
Man.
but I don't know. I do like AD more than PJ, so that's tough.
I think I like the Denny one too. So here's the take. Ready? Do we think AD's ceiling, if LeBron gets ruled out before the game starts, I definitely lean the AD side of things. But if LeBron plays, I think I'd like the PJ side a little bit too. There's probably a higher ceiling, Alexander, with the Anthony Davis lineup. But just because like AD is the only, well, you can't even say that because PJ scored like 45 real life points this week. And all those guys are out again too. Man, this is close. I'm going PJ. Let's go PJ. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. But you built two good lineups there, Alexander. Two solid lineups.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
All right, here we go. Kono, Cam Johnson, Isaiah Joe, or Nembhard and Denny. Are we ever going to pick against Nembhard today?
And you throw in Denny there, who we also like. So I would have liked Isaiah Joe a lot more if SGA was still out. But I think with him back in, gets a step back there.
I agree. Reminder, we're going to say we have like 5 to 7 minutes left because if you guys can't tell, I am dying today. I don't know what's going on. I'm coughing a ton. So like the stream, subscribe, #Zinger. Really tough question here from George. Flat drum or chicken wangs? What are you doing there, George? I mean, Ghost.
I love all chicken wings and I don't discriminate against the shape.
There we go. That's a progressive answer. Ace says, has Joker been ruled out with 2 games, him or JJ? He hasn't been ruled out yet, but it is definitely tricky. So I don't really know, Ace. I really don't know. Dayton's asked, what do we think about Jalen Smith? I feel like we haven't talked about Jalen Smith in a while here. This is underdog again, right? Let's look at Jalen Smith if he's even projecting. Half a 19 projection at 30. Looks pretty solid. I don't know. You have any Jalen Smith takes?
I like him, and I mean he produces when he plays. It's just really hard to predict where they're going at center between him and Isaiah Jackson, and then I think they have one other person who was rotating in as well. But I'm a little bit nervous between him and Isaiah Jackson of which one decides to get the minutes there. But I think that he is a good play if you are in a crunch.
Yeah, I like it too. Killian, this is a good question. This is Portland is the only team shutting down the whole team. Why is that? Because you know what ended up happening? The teams that knew they were going for the first pick decided this in October, right? So the Spurs, the Hornets, the Pistons, the Rockets, like it was very clear. And then there was like 1 or 2 spots, and Portland was one of them where they realized with like a month left, they're like, hey, if we just lose the rest of our games, we'll be right in it. And there are not any other teams that are in that situation except for maybe the Wizards, but the Wizards are too stupid to figure that out. So that's kind of why it happened. Alex said Avdija or Sharp. Jesus, man. I don't know. This is like, would you say Sharp has the higher ceiling of these two if we just pick it by ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at Sharp. I look at Sharp like I looked at Cam Thomas when basically all of Brooklyn was out, where it's like he's doing literally everything.
Yeah.
So I think there is barely any ceiling to what Sharp can put up. So I like him, but as we've said, Denny is also in a great situation.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Badavine, I'm going Muscala because Zakarian's under the weather. AJ said AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, or Batum as my last pick. I haven't been paying attention too much to what the Hawks youngins have been doing. So Jalen Johnson projects pretty well. Somebody out that I missed for the Hawks?
I think DeAndre Hunter was.
Oh yes, Hunter. I think I'm taking Jalen Johnson. It's a pick between Johnson and Batum for me. I think both of them are a clear step up over AJ Griffin, but I don't know.
AJ Griffin is good. I wish that he played more. I think he's a good real life player. I think I lean Batum there because he's been getting some good minutes. He did just have a really bad game.
Yeah, he did.
He followed up the Bulls game with a terrible game against the Grizzlies there, but I think I still lean Batum.
Staying with the Clippers, Ukulele's asking, hey, Terrence Mann or Rocco? I feel like, man, I thought he was going to have a bigger role with Paul George out. He projects good, like 16 and a cap of 23. And the other one, I forget. We looked up Covington earlier, and I'm totally forget.
Covington had that one like 47-point game, and then is like wishy-washy with every other game.
Yeah, he's projecting well, but I think I'm leaning. Man, but I wouldn't be mad at you. Clay and Nembhard are Ant-Man and Jay Williams. So that's the big man, Jalen Williams. I don't think that's J-Dub, right? Because I don't know. Because if it was J-Dub, I would just say Ant-Man and J-Dub. I still think it's probably Clay and Nembhard, right?
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's not DeAndre Jordan, Philip. I can tell you that right now. It's Thomas Bryant. It's Jeff Green. It's everybody but DeAndre Jordan. All right.
Thomas Bryant's been super underwhelming for Denver since he went there. Like he was looking really good when he was in LA, but has just not put it together for Denver.
I know it's been a weird spot for him for sure. All right, looks like we caught up on questions. Let's we're gonna wrap up here a few minutes early. I know normally we go another 20 minutes, but again, I'm down a little bad today, so it's been a struggle. So like the stream, subscribe, #Zinger. Ghost, what do you have to plug for the people today?
Yeah, same as always. I write the Sorare primer. We're winding down here, I guess, getting close to the playoffs. But write that every Monday and Friday for Lucky Trader. A lot of the same stuff we cover here. So check that out and subscribe if you like this type of content. And then I'm on Twitter Spaces every morning on the Lucky Lead. So if you want to check out the broader NFT space outside of Sorare, feel free to check that out as well.
Hell yeah. For us, we'll no content for the weekend. We'll be back on Monday. If this is your first time joining us, we do live before lock Mondays and Fridays at 5:30. I put out a playoff specific video this week. You can go check that out. Just kind of using some strategy into how I'm approaching the playoffs. Highlighted a couple of different players as well. We also do the daily show Monday through Friday at 9. We are going to have a baseball show sometime next week. Sorare announced that they're doing the ETH rewards for MLB, which is very exciting. And G Dunn is going to hop on. We're going to talk some baseball, get ourselves started. I've only messed around with the free game, free to play for game week 1, but by game week 3, I'll have some lineups ready to go. I'm treating it the same way I treated basketball. Did you dive in with baseball at all?
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm doing the free games to start. All of my purchases from NBA from like the first week or right before aged very poorly. So I think I'm going to wait and see how the market shakes out a little bit.
There you go.
But I am planning on playing, and we have some similar primer from our friend Hunter over there at Lucky Trader. So we have that content as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, make sure you go check that out. Check out the weekly walk-off too on our friend Nifty Sports' channel. But yeah, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, go ahead and do that. Come hang out with us. Have some fun. Follow us on Twitter. If you want to give away last night during playback, whether it was a Top Shot or a Sorare specific thing, I will get that to you over the weekend. I just got that list of that. I know some of you have reached out to me. Don't you worry. That's coming this weekend, along with whoever wins this rare tier card. All right, best of luck with your squads. Let us know how you do. Make sure you get your training lineups in. And also don't forget to go bid on the Luka unique that they're doing with like a week left in the season. Torb Kra. Let's go, Torb Kra. Let's go. Let's go. Big dubs. All right, for Ghost, for myself, thanks everyone for being here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We are out.